Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with TP-Link. Today's host is Vincent Tu. He is their product engineer, and he'll be presenting today. If anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box, and Vincent will answer them at the end of today's presentation. Vincent, I am finished for now. Thank you so much for being with us today. You can go ahead and take it on over.
Okay, thank you, Julie. Hi, everyone. This is Vincent from TP-Link. And at the first page that we do have the contact information of my email address, as well as the Ronald Dennis email address. So if you have any product question, you can just send me an email. If you have any sales questions, you can send it over to the Ronald Dennis. So let's talk about the webinar today. And this webinar was set up a month ago. And at that time, we just want to present the latest update of our products. That's what TP-Link is doing right now. And because of the coronavirus situation right now, and I would like to insert how quick guide to show you how to set up the telecommuting. And a lot of you already have the line set up already, but some of you just still not having it. So I'm going to having that topic today as part of the presentation. And in this telecommuting, I'm going to use the TLR 600 VPN. It is a VPN router, which is available through the Microcom. And later on, if you want to have this device, you can just ask Microcom to have it. And so quickly, the topic today, we're going to have two parts, the telecommuting, how to set up the VPN, and the other part is the product update, where I'm going to update what we're doing on the Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 6E, and how the Armada wireless system evolving into the Armada SDN system. And we do have the special design for the video surveillance networking for the different features that the camera really wants to have. Okay, so for the telecommuting, first of all, let's realize that what is a VPN, why is it important. That VPN stands for the Virtual Private Network. The goal to set up a VPN is that we want to have the remote PC, the computer, to act as we're just like in the company network, and just like in the company. And most of the time, the company having the firewall, have the network address translator to prevent the outside traffic. And so the outside PC is differentiated in between the inside PC. And how can we just simulate that the outside PC as the inside? We can just build up the VPN tunnel to incorporate the outside PC as the inside PC in the company network. So there are two major concerns to set up the VPN. The first thing is the security, and second thing is the connectivity. When you set up anything outside of your company, the first thing you think about is the security. And in the industry, to set up the VPN security, the highest standard as of today is the IPsec. That means the IP security. And to encrypt the IPsec encryption, you have to use a key to encrypt it. And the latest protocol is IKE-v2. It's using the AAA server to assign the pre-share key from time to time. It's dynamic. And compared to that, the IKE-v1 is a static pre-share password. So you can set up your VPN security using the IPsec. And the other popular solution is that you use the SSH as the encryption, the way of encryption to set up the VPN tunnel. And the most popular solution is when you're using the Open VPN, you can use the SSH port, the port 443, and to set up the VPN. And the second concern is the connectivity. That if you do have the public IPs from one end to the other, that you're easily to connect those two together to set up the tunnel. However, a lot of time it is not available in client side. You can set up a public IP for your company, and it is easy to find, but it's hardly to set up a public IP that is ready available on the client side. So you can use the point-to-point protocol, and the most popular one is the PPTP and the L2TP. So combining the security requirement and the connectivity requirements, that's what the available combination we have. The traditional one is the PPTP. It was brought up by the Windows, and it does not using the IPsec security. So most of the time people complain it's not very secure, but because it uses less computing power, so it sometimes is still a popular solution to connect one end to the other. And you can find it available in the Windows, Android, and on some legacy devices. So for the industry standard, you can just connect with the IPsec, and with the IPsec, the same problem is that it does not deal with the connectivity issue. So you have to think the way to connect two endpoints together. And if you have two public IP, then that is fine. There is no problem. You can just do the connection yourself, and you use the IPsec as the encryption to protect your data. And the next one is more realistic, is that you can use some help with the point-to-point protocol to find the endpoints to connect them together, and then you can just encrypt your data using the IPsec. And that is the setup we're going to talk about using the L2TP connection, wrapping with the IPsec security. And in 600 VPN, we're using the IKEv1, which is a static pre-shared key. It is not the most secure way to do it, but it is good enough security. You don't have to set up the AAA server. Okay, so from the TP-Link, we do have three models of the VPN router, and two of them are rack mount, and they are different in the computing power and the memory size. But they all have the same feature. They can set up the client-to-LAN connection. They can set up the LAN-to-LAN connection, and they can do the net penetration using the PPTP or L2TP protocol. And the most beautiful thing is that you don't have to install the extra app or software on your computer or on your phone to do the connection, and it does not have the licensing feature. And additionally, you can connect the VPN router with a different ISP, and they can automatically load balance themselves. And as of today, that we are out of the rack mount models, and the only available model is TLR600 VPN, and it has all the features like other the routers, but just the computing power is different. Okay, let's set up an example VPN. For example, if our company network, we do have 192.168.0.0 network, and we do have the 192.168.0.254 as a gateway, and that is the default IP of the 600 VPN. And then we want to connect 4 clients outside of the company, and we're using the L2TP over IPsec as our tunneling protocol. And we assign the remote local address for those 4 computers. Yes, we do need assign the local address for the remote computer as they're in the company network. So we call it the remote local. There are local IP addresses, but really they're remote. So we assign the 0.10 to 13 as the remote local IP addresses. And we do need one more IP address to send the traffic over the VPN. It is different to the default gateway .0.254, and it is the gateway through the VPN tunnel to those 4 computers. And then we have to set up the tunnel secret as a pre-share key to encrypt all the traffic over the IPsec protocol. And we also need to set up the user authentication to authenticate which user can use the tunnel and to access the company network. So that's the network we're going to set up today. Okay, so on the server side, that you have to have the 600 VPN exposed to the internet. That means you have to have the public IP address exposed to the internet, so the client can find where is the server. And the first thing, when you log into the 600 VPN, you can just go to the preference VPN IP pool and set up the remote, this one, the remote IP pool .10 to .13. So you can just name whatever the pool name you want and put the starting address and the end address. This is the first step that you assign the remote local IP pool. And the second thing is that you're going to enable the L2TP server, and you go to the VPN, L2TP server, and choose the interface that you want to set up the VPN tunnel, and choose the IPsec encrypt. Of course, you want to encrypt it, not unencrypted, and you put your pre-share key here. This is just an example. You just put whatever the key you want to set it up here, click OK, and this step is done. Later on, you want to authenticate which user can use this tunnel. So you go to the VPN users and you put in the username, password, and choose the protocol L2TP. Of course, you can use the BBTP, but in our case, we choose the L2TP. And the local IP address is the gateway going through the VPN, just like this one, the gateway to those 4 computers. So what is the IP address for those 4 computers? It was assigned in the IP pool we set up before. And the next one is a DNS server. You just set it up as a local DNS server, and we will have more discussion on this one. So right now you just set up to the local DNS server and it will work. And for the next network type, you just want to have the single client connecting to the LAN, so it's client to LAN setup. And with this account setting, the account name and password, you can have maximum 4 connection with this account. You can assign it to group of people to share the same credential, or you can just assign it to the single person that he has the multiple devices. But anyway, in this case, you can have maximum 4 connections for that. Click OK, and you save it, and the server is set up. So next one, we have to set up the client side. as mentioned, that on the client side, you don't have to install any additional software or app. So, for example, in your Windows desktop PC, you just click on the network icon on right lower part of your Windows. You can find the network icon. Right-click it. You will see the Open Network and Internet Settings. Click this one, and the setting panel will show up, and you will choose the VPN setup. And yes, this is the icon from Microsoft to represent the VPN. And you can just click on the Add VPN Connection, and then entering the information of the VPN we just set up. And connecting name is not important, just recognize locally, and you can name it whatever. And the server name and or address, you can put in the IP address of the URL. Putting the IP address is more secure because putting the URL, you can possibly be fooled by the false DNS server. But putting the URL, you can have more flexibility to move around to the different IP. So that's your choice to put in the IP address or the URL name. On the VPN type, we're going to choose the L2TP over IPsec. And pre-share key is the key that we just put on the server, the pre-share key. And we choose the way to authenticate a user is using the username and password, and put in the username here and put in the password here and click save, and the VPN tunnel is set up. And then when you want to use the VPN, you can just click on the network icon again. This time don't right click, just click it, and you will see your VPN is here. Click on it and you can connect to the VPN. Next example is on the Mac OS, and you open the property, the network property. You click on the plus sign to add an interface for the connection from your MacBook. So you choose the interface type to the VPN, choose the VPN type to L2TP over IPsec, and the service name is whatever you prefer, and click on create, but not finished yet. We have to configure what's inside of the VPN. So click on the VPN itself. You put in the server address or the URL, and you put the account name. But where is the password and share key? You have to click on the authentication settings. You put the password, that this is the user authentication password, and this is the pre-share key. And click OK, click Apply, and it's done. And when you set up the VPN, if you leave this checkbox on, then that is show VPN status in the menu bar. You can find this icon on your menu bar. You just click it and choose the VPN you want, and then you connect to the VPN. So that's the setup on the Mac. The last example from the iPhone. From the iPhone, you can just tap on the settings and choose the VPN and add the VPN configuration and enter the information. You choose the type as L2TP, and this is whatever the name you prefer, and put the server address, account information, password, and secret, and done. Then you can the VPN setup is done. Whenever you want to connect to the VPN, you just go to this VPN again, and then it will show up here, the VPN configurations, and you just switch it on and off. When you switch it on, the VPN is connected. But in experience, from time to time, you are going to see this notification. Don't panic. Most of the time, is some letters that you're typing is wrong. It's not the protocol issue, just the information you enter to the configuration, and beware of the first letter. It sometimes will automatically capital. You type it something and it will capital for you. Just be aware of that. Okay, so those are the way to set up the VPN. It's pretty straightforward, but most of the time, so right now you can connect to the company network. There's no problem. But the complaint you're going to hear from the user is that my internet is down. I cannot access to the internet. The reason why is that the client is sending all the traffic through the VPN tunnel to your company. But in your company, you didn't allow them to the internet. Why is that? And how to resolve that? We want to let the user going to the internet through the company network. And here's the way to do it. The DNS address, when you enter the local DNS server, the remote VPN client can only visit the company resources. If you change it to the public DNS IP address, for example, for the Google, you can enter the 8888, or you can enter the 4444, or you can enter whatever the public DNS provided by your ISP. And in that case, that the VPN client can go to the internet through your company network. The problem is that a lot of the traffic, the most concern is the shared drive, OneDrive, Google Drive. They do have a lot of traffic. They need the internet access. So, is there a way to improve that? Yes, there is some way, but it is not easy. You can just set up the default gateway from your computer or your phone to your local gateway. Then the internet is going through your local traffic. But a lot of the time it's difficult. So we do have another solution, and so I will just introduce that later on in the LAN-to-LAN setup. So another way to set up the VPN is that you connect the local network to your company network. So you are not setting up the client on the device, but you're setting up the client on another 600 VPN router. So when you want to have the LAN-to-LAN set up, on the server side, you have to change two settings. The first thing is that you go to the user account, you change the network mode. We used to choose the client to LAN, and right here you change it into the LAN to LAN, and the network connection mode is going to change. And the second thing is that you have to tell the server what is the address of the remote site. And this is the address pool that located in your home office. So in this example, it is .1.0 and /24. Okay. So this is the example topology that on your company network, you're still having the 192.168.0.0/24 network, and you're using the L2TP over IPsec to connect, and you're using another 600 VPN setup as a client. And here's how I would let you know. Let's talk about the topology right now. And you just set up the default gateway of this 600 VPN as .1.254. It has to be different to this one. Otherwise, it is going to be confused. So after this VPN router, you can connect to the computer, or through an access point, you can connect to your mobile device. And it can connect directly to your ISP right here, or it can connect through the home router to your ISP. That means that You don't have to change a lot of things in your home. You just connect the VPN router to your home router, and as a client, it will work. So here we talk about how to set up the client. After you set up the gateway IP, different to your company network, and then you go to the VPN, L2TP, set up the L2TP client, enter the credential that the server provided, and here you have to put the company subnet. So you can just forward in the packet to your company. And in our example is 192.168.0.0. And for easier handling from the company network, we just choose the net. And of course, you can choose route mode that you can map in multiple IP on both ends, but it's kind of complicated. We're not going to discuss it as of today's presentation. You just choose net and click OK, and your client is set up. In this case, that you don't have to change any settings to the client side. You just make them to connect to the router, and it can have the VPN service to your company network. So what about the internet access? It will automatically redirect to the local gateway. And how does it do it? In the VPN router, it does have the default gateway to your local network through the WAN interface, and it does have the routing table routing those traffic to your company through the VPN. So it is very easy to separate two different packets to your local internet or to your company network. So this is the most easy way to resolve the internet issue. So hopefully that the VPN setup guide can help you to do the telecommuting well. And if you have any question on the first slide, you have my email. You can just shoot me an email, and if you have any question. Okay. Here's the second part of the product update. We're going to introduce you what we're doing with the Wi-Fi 6 and what is the involvement with the Omada system. What is the network switch designed for the video surveillance network. Okay. So TP-Link has the Wi-Fi 6 routers since 2018, and there's not a lot of clients in the market until later 2019, and 2020 we believe it is the Wi-Fi 6 year that a lot of clients is going to present, and the router and the access point has to support that. So all those three are the new models that we have. The first one, they are all tri-band devices. The first one is the traditional tri-band router that it provides the 2.4 to 5 independent 5 gigahertz, and it does have provide the 6 gigabits of the wireless. And the second one is different to the traditional router. It is a mesh router, and it provides also the 6 gigabits. And the third one is it's using the new 6 gigahertz band. It is very clean as a backhaul. So the router, the mesh network is not going to compete with the end user using the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz bandwidth. Okay, so then it is the Omada series.
TP-Link Omada is a smarter end-to-end cloud solution dedicated to business networking, integrating gateways, switches, access points, and more into a full software-defined networking solution. Omada provides 100% centralized cloud management to create a highly scalable network, all controlled from a single interface, anywhere, anytime. TP-Link Omada is specially designed for use in hospitality, education, retail, offices, and more. providing scenario-based products with diverse benefits. TP-Link Omada gateways ensure high performance and security with powerful firewalls, deep packet inspection, and VPN. TP-Link Omada switches provide reliable 10, 2.5, and 1 gigabit Ethernet connections. With PoE supported, installing APs, IP cameras, and IP phones is remarkably simple. Ceiling mount, wall plate, and outdoor access points are provided to give seamless Wi-Fi coverage, indoors and out, even for surveillance systems and elevators. Omada developed the latest Wi-Fi 6 access points to provide an unprecedented user experience in high-density scenarios, capable of connecting up to 1,000 clients. Equipped with advanced technology, Wi-Fi 6 APs have high concurrency capacity. Auto-channel selection and power adjustment provide powerful wireless performance while greatly reducing Wi-Fi interference. Seamless roaming ensures uninterrupted streams and services even when moving around. Boost your online business with guest Wi-Fi with Facebook login, voucher, and other flexible authentication options. A centralized cloud management platform delivers higher efficiency, reliability, and security. Omada zero-touch deployment with cloud access allows you to remotely deploy and configure multi-site networks, so there's no need to send out an engineer for on-site configuration. With this easy-to-use dashboard, easily monitor real-time network status, check network usage and traffic distribution, or even track the key data of customers for better business results. The easy-to-use dashboard and AI-driven technology provide full network monitoring, intelligent network analysis, and quick network troubleshooting. Higher reliability is guaranteed with 99.99% SLA availability, 24/7 automated fault detection, geographically isolated backup servers, and reliable product quality. TP-Link Omada, the smarter cloud solution for business networks.
Okay, so this is the Omada system that we developed. That we started with the wireless system that can control by the single controller, and it is cloud discoverable. So you can use the mobile API to monitor and control all the access points. And right now, with the SDN, we implement the Wi-Fi 6 access points. We have the 4x4 and 2x2 access points. As well, we do have the switches and routers can be controlled by the same controller. So on the right-hand side, we have all the access points. It is available today through Microcom. And the left-hand side, the Wi-Fi 6 access point is going to be available in second quarter. And those are switches that we're going to incorporate with the Omada SDN system, so you can have very easy configurations to the guest network and the VPN in the future. So that's the update with the SDN. And last topic with the network switches, that we do have some special design for the surveillance camera. And most of the time that with the video surveillance network, you're going to have the NVR with 4 channel, 8 channel, and 16 channel. That means you need a 4 connection directly to your camera, or 8 connection, or 16 connections. So what about the uplink? You have to have the connection to your NVR or your other corporate network. So you do need uplink. And before we designed it with SFP, the fiber link, but we heard a lot of feedback saying that they do want to have the copper uplink. So we designed it with the 4-port connection. We have the 5th port as a 5-port PoE switch, and with the 8-port PoE, we have the 10-port totally. There are 2 extra uplink ports. You can use either fiber or the copper. For the 16, we have 18. For the 24, we have 26. And the second feature for the specially designed for the video surveillance camera is that sometimes in the warehouse or some big area, you're going to have the camera in the remote side. As we know that the Ethernet distance is limited in 100 meters. And we designed a special switch that can extend the Ethernet connection up to 250 meters. At the same time, it provides a PoE plus, that is a 30 watts the power to power the remote camera. So you don't have to put the extra switch in between the 250 meters. So you can just use one switch. At the same time, this is the main switch, but you can use this switch to do the port isolation, and you can do the QoS. It is a special design for this kind of switch. And for the PoE recovery, it can detect it using the pin, detect the remote device. For example, there's a very important camera. Sometimes for any reason it's going to be offline, and we can just discover it and just recover it automatically. So, and for the ISP solution, we do provide the TR69. Later on, you can just review the video that we do have the traditional 1200, 1900 router, which can control by the ISP, or we have the mesh version that can also manage by the ISP. It is working with the TR69 system. But for some ISP, you don't want to manage the TR69 feature system, and you have to manage yourself. And we do provide a DECO cloud managed Wi-Fi. You can just subscribe the management account with us, and you can manage all the wireless system at your user's home. So for the mesh system, you can have the TR69 version or the DECO version. Okay, so last thing is that the warranty that all of our indoor wireless and SMB switches are lifetime warranty. For the outdoor is 2 years, and we're cost effective, very reliable products. And if you have any question, you can just ask me or Ronald. And sorry about the extra time for the presentation today. And right now, get back to Judy.
Thank you so much, Vincent, for that wonderful presentation today. And it looks like I do have a few questions for you. So I'm going to start with the first one. First question here says, for further troubleshooting for VPN, can we reach out to TP-Link tech support?
Yes, we do have the SMB support line and the email address, and as well you have my email address as well, so you can just reach out either resource, whatever you available.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Next question here for you. Are all of your VPN routers, what is the warranty for those, and is there a tier 2 support for them?
Yes. Okay. So the warranty is lifetime warranty, and there is tier 2 support.
Great. Thank you so much. Next question here for you. You informed that it has a load balance feature. Does it support hot failovers as well?
The answer is yes. You can just set it up as a failover, or you can set it up as a load balance. And in load balance, you have two types of load balance. You can load balance with the bandwidth, or you want to keep the same app with the same link. You can just doing the app load balance.
Excellent. Thank you, Vincent. Next question here for you. Are all of your devices qualified for Wi-Fi 6 in the near future for an update?
For the Wi-Fi 6 access point, we're going to have the same model because it is a hardware difference. So I'm not sure what the update is, but the 11AC Wi-Fi will keep with the 11AC, and Wi-Fi 6 will be Wi-Fi 6.
Excellent. Thank you, Vincent. A couple more questions. Would you be able to control and view the cameras remotely? And if yes, how?
At this moment, we do not provide the camera as a product, and we just provide a switch to power the camera.
Okay, understood. Next question here for you. For Omada, does it need any subscription or is it for free?
I'll answer that one, Vince.
Yeah.
That is an absolutely free subscription. There is no cost associated with it. So that's one of the reasons why we sell so much of it, is because there are no additional costs. So your margin's a lot better. So the answer is no, there's no cost.
Excellent. Thank you, Ronald. Last question here, and it's kind of more like a comment. Regarding this presentation, we have one audience member who here with the company who would like to show some screenshots or show some of your presentation here to further promote and explain your products. So we very much enjoyed your products commentary today and everything you've showed us for your updates. Can you tell us a little bit about TP-Link's manufacturing?
Yes. So in terms of, generally speaking, TP-Link is the world's largest manufacturer of networking hardware. We employ about 18,000 employees, about 26,000 employees, and about 1,800 of those are engineers. We spend about 8 to 9% of our revenue on research and development. So in terms of just manufacturing, we have a very large, several large manufacturing facilities, and we have very wide bandwidth and capability to develop new products. So our focus has always been development. We've always wanted to talk with customers, find out what they needed, and then bring that information back to our R&D team and see if we can develop a product specifically designed for our customers. So we're very customer-centric in that regard.
Thank you, Vincent, and thank you, Ronald, for answering those questions for us today, and thank you for giving us your contact information. I'd also like to thank everyone for attending today's webinar, and if anyone has any further questions, of course, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if anyone wishes to view any of the products mentioned or shown here today, please visit us at www.microcom.us. And remember, this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so you can view these items again. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us today. Ronald and Dennis, you guys have a wonderful day. Until next time.
Thank you very much, Julie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye.